Developing right now across the state line, nurses at ProMedica Charles and Virginia Hickman Hospital in Adrian approved a strike authorization vote if negotiations fail. About 140 nurses work there and 98% approved the measure. They've been working under an expired contract since January 1st. ProMedica would be given a 10-day notice before any strike starts. ProMedica sent 13 Action News a statement saying it's been negotiating with the Michigan Nurses Association since September, adding that it presented a final contract offer on January 9th. The statement says in part that if a strike happens, the hospital would work diligently to provide safe, high-quality care. It goes on to say that ProMedica expects the not-for-profit hospital to remain open and continue serving the community. To see the entire statement, you can head to 13abc.com.